Life. We all face problems. Sometimes we feel lost and alone. Our problems can feel like a heavy weight, It's easy to feel overwhelmed. We might feel like nobody understands our pain. We might even wonder if God hears us. In these moments, remember Psalm 69. Psalm 69 is more than just a prayer. It's a desperate cry from the depths of a troubled soul. This ancient song, found in the heart of the Bible, has echoed through centuries as a voice for those who feel overwhelmed by life's storms. It's a plea for help, a confession of pain, and a search for hope. The words come from King David, a man chosen by God, yet no stranger to suffering. Despite his royal status, David faced moments of deep despair and loneliness. He was pursued by enemies, betrayed by those he trusted, and often misunderstood by the people around him. In this psalm, David describes his trouble vividly. He says he is sinking in deep mire with no foothold. The waters threaten to sweep over him. His heart is heavy and his spirit is crushed. The world feels dark and dangerous, and he is surrounded by threats on every side. His enemies are relentless. They attack him not just with weapons but with words, spreading lies, stirring up hatred, and turning others against him. The pain of betrayal cuts deep, and the weight of false accusations is almost too much to bear. These people want to see him fall. Their anger is fierce, and their intentions are cruel. David feels hunted, as if there is no safe place left for him to hide. In his isolation, David's fear grows. He feels abandoned, cut off from comfort, and weighed down by sorrow. The silence of loneliness is deafening, and hope seems far away. Yet even in his darkest hour, David remembers something vital. He knows he is not truly alone. He remembers the faithfulness of God and the power of prayer. He chooses to lift his eyes above his troubles. With all his strength, David cries out to God. He doesn't hide his pain or pretend to be strong. Instead, he pours out his heart honestly, trusting that God hears every word, every tear, every sigh. In his vulnerability, David finds courage. He holds nothing back, believing that God welcomes even our rawest emotions. Through his prayer, David teaches us that when we are overwhelmed, we too can turn to God and find hope in the midst of despair. David's prayer teaches us something important. God listens. Even when we feel alone, God is with us. Even when we feel afraid, God loves us. God understands our pain. He sees our tears. He hears our cries, and he promises to be near. When we face hard times, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or alone. But in these moments, we can remember the story of David from the Bible. David faced many challenges. He was chased by enemies, misunderstood by friends, and sometimes felt completely abandoned. Yet he never gave up hope. Instead, he turned to God, pouring out his heart in prayer and song. His faith gave him the courage to keep going, even when things seemed impossible. Like David, we can cry out to God when we're struggling. We don't have to hide our fears or pretend to be strong all the time. God invites us to come to him just as we are, with all our worries, doubts, and pain. He listens to every word, even the ones we can't say out loud. We can tell him everything that's on our minds, our hopes, our disappointments, our questions, and our dreams. Writing down our prayers or thoughts, just like David did in the Psalms, can help us process what we're feeling and remind us that God is always near. We can trust that God hears us, even when we don't get answers right away. His presence brings peace in the middle of chaos. Sometimes just knowing that we are not alone can give us the strength to face another day. God promises to give us strength when we need it most. He lifts us up when we feel weak and gives us hope when we feel lost. Worship, prayer, and reading his word can fill us with new courage and remind us of his love. God also sends people into our lives to help us through our problems. Friends, family, and even strangers can be a source of comfort and encouragement. We are not meant to carry our burdens alone. No matter what we face, God will never leave us alone. His love is constant, and his presence is our greatest source of strength. When we put our trust in him, we can find hope and courage for every challenge. Psalm 69 is a powerful reminder that even in our darkest moments, when we feel overwhelmed by the storms of life, God is our rescuer. The psalmist cries out from a place of deep distress, yet holds on to hope, knowing that God hears every prayer and sees every tear. When we are sinking, when the waves seem too high, God reaches out his hand to lift us up. He is not distant or indifferent. He is near to the brokenhearted and attentive to those who call on him. He saves those who trust in him, offering comfort and strength when we have none left. In moments of uncertainty, when our faith is tested, God's love remains steadfast. He invites us to bring our fears, our doubts, and our pain to him, promising that we are never alone. Through prayer we find a connection to the one who holds all things together. He brings hope to the hopeless, shining light into the darkest corners of our lives. Even when circumstances seem impossible, God's promises remain true. He gives us courage to face each new day, and strength to keep moving forward. His hope is not just wishful thinking, it is a confident assurance that He is working for our good, even when we cannot see it. He brings peace to the troubled, calming our anxious hearts and quieting our restless minds. In the stillness, we can sense His presence, bringing a peace that surpasses all understanding. No matter how fierce the storm, God's peace is available to us, anchoring us in His love and faithfulness. No matter what you are facing, whether it's loss, fear, uncertainty, or pain, don't give up. God is with you in every moment, walking beside you through every trial. He loves you more deeply than you can imagine, and His presence is your greatest comfort. Lean on Him, and let His love carry you, and He will bring you through this. Trust in Him, for He is faithful. With God there is always hope, always a way forward, and always the promise of rescue. Let your heart rest in His care, knowing that you are never alone.